Good evening and many thanks for joining us. This is QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Caraba Avenue with me and Sumana Nyase. First, here are the main news headlines. During his update for the 2023 fiscal year, Sidi Keita, the Minister of Finance, revealed that the Gambia's total debt stock has increased from $46.3 billion in 2016 to $110.6 billion in 2023, partly due to inherited large domestic and external debt from the Jammeh-led government. Honorable Maimuna Sise, a Gambian National Assembly member, has been unanimously elected Secretary General of the ECOWAS Female Parliamentarians Association. And as both Muslims and Christians completed their respective periods of fasting in Lent and Ramadan, we engage our Muslims and Christians in Farafenye about the festivities at the end of fasting. In international news, we also bring you Eid-ul-Fitr observance in Memphis, Tennessee, in the United States of America. Well, stay tuned for more on these and other stories. And now we'll take a look at the news in detail. The Gambia's total debt stock has increased from $46.3 billion in 2016 to $110 billion in 2023, partly due to inherited large domestic and external debt from the Jammeh regime. This, amongst other things, Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs Sidi Keita updated the press on the 2023 fiscal year.
The depreciation of the dollar against major currencies, loss-making from state-owned enterprises and debt reconstructing during the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic are among the reasons for the debt stock increase. Although the government's total debt stock remains at high risk, the IMF's debt sustainability analysis deems it sustainable. Between 2016 and 2013, the government generated revenue from domestic sources increased by 13.4% from $7.6 billion in 2016 to $17.8 billion in 2023, representing an annual growth rate of 19%. What projects did the new debts directed towards financing? Finance Minister Sidi Keita elaborates.
The Batin Hardin Highway is part of the loan book contracted, and as we know, the value of that contract is about $96 million. And the phase one of the University of the Gambia, the rehabilitation of the Banjul International Airport, the construction of the VVIP launch at the airport, the Gamtel broadband network project, which I think is about $25 million, the port expansion project, the OMVG.
The 2018 Labour Force Survey recorded the unemployment rate in the Gambia at 35.2%, with youth unemployment at 42.1%. There has been an increase in the cost of living in the Gambia due partly to rising cost of commodities.
Growth in the economy does not translate to jobs directly. Job creation is a manifestation of growth, but some economic growth have lag effects. The introductions and the growth you've registered today will take time to filter down to the man on the street, to the job creation. And when it comes to commodity price, unfortunately, the economy's strength is not determined by commodity prices. Commodity prices are determined by exogenous factors.
Although implementation of many laws remains a major challenge, the Gambia government has brought about several reform initiatives to free up the fiscal space and facilitate growth. Amongst these is the passing of the anti-corruption bill in 2023.
The number of reforms ongoing are as follows. First reform is the review and amendment of the Public Finance Act. The Public Finance Act has been reviewed and has been amended. Currently, it is at an advanced stage. We also had procurement reforms. The ministry coordinated a legislation in 2022 of the GPPA Act to address weaknesses in the public procurement and strengthen regulatory and oversight functions of the GPPA.
The Gambia has regained admission as a beneficiary of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, extending the country's ability to export commodities to the U.S. duty-free. The African Growth and Opportunity Act agreement covers more than 1,800 products, including apparel and footwear. Generally, budget support from development partners has increased.
Government has selected Gambia in December 2022 to be eligible for a compact that comes with, we are thinking about an envelope of about around the range of 300 million, which will be grant funds, and they'll focus on two areas. The two areas the MCC compact will focus on is the full utilization of the River Gambia and the quality of education to be relevant to the citizens and the needs of the country.
The minister pointed at the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic and the spillover effects of the war in Ukraine and climate change have caused major economic setbacks in the past year. It is hoped that the reforms highlighted will be implemented to alleviate poverty sustainably. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jennifer Sonko.
Now, the honourable member of the National Assembly, Maimouna Cisse, a Gambian, has been unanimously elected Secretary General of the ECOWAS Female Parliamentarians Association, a caucus of the ECOWAS Parliament. QTV's Aliou Cisse spoke to her and Hina reports.
The Honourable Maimouna Cisse is a nominated member to the Gambia's National Assembly and a member of the Gambia's 5-member delegation to the ECOWAS Parliament, where she was sworn in alongside her colleagues for a 4-year term 2 weeks ago. In an interview with QTV, Honourable Cisse welcomed her role within the ECOWAS Female Parliamentarians Association ECOFIPA as a win for the Gambia. This is how she reacted to the trust bestowed on her by the colleagues at the Community Parliament.
It's a great honor for me to represent the Gambia in the regional bloc, which is the ECOWAS Parliament. That alone is something which it dears to me so much. And first of all, I would like to thank and the opportunity who has already given me the opportunity is His Excellency, the President of the Republic, which is President Adama Barrow, who first bestowed his confidence and trust upon me to serve under the National Parliament of the Gambia. Based on the fact of that, the National Assembly also, under the leadership of the retired Fawakari Tombonjata, who is the leader of the National Assembly of the Gambia, and the clerk of the National Assembly, for their utmost effort to make sure that they do the right and the needful thing for us to represent the Gambia.
Honourable Cisse says she is encouraged by the welcome she received on her arrival at the seat of the ECOWAS Parliament for the formal swearing-in ceremony, which was attended by Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Gambia-born ECOWAS Commission President Dr. Umar Aliou Toure.
And I really thank my colleagues. This is the first time meeting them, but the trust and the confidence they have on me, I really want everybody to pray for me, especially my colleagues in the Gambia and the country at large, to pray for me to execute the functions they thought that I can do. That's what I will first start.
Aware of the task ahead of her, she shares the priorities for her and the new executive led by President Veronica Cisse from Sierra Leone, which include advancing women representation in politics and advocating the return of Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso to the regional bloc.
Yeah, the task is very huge, and I think with the collective responsibility of all the female NAMs, I think we will be able to do it. But moreover, my first initial task will be, at least the first I would like to venture into some mediations, because we found ourselves in a predicament in the region which is not very pleasant, especially when it comes to the instability in the region. You come to Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, all of them, they exempted themselves from the ECOWAS bloc because of the insecurity, what is happening in their countries. And I don't think that is helping the region.
Bileji Tungara, head of the Gambia's delegation, was also voted for Deputy Speaker of the Community Parliament, while Honorable Alaji S. Dabo, Sirif Sar, and Amadou Kamara will also serve in various committees of the Parliament, including the Committee on Microeconomic Policy and Industry. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Congratulations to Honorable Cisse on her election as ECOWAS Female Parliamentarians Association Secretary General. Now, as Christians and Muslims have all completed Lent and Ramadan respectively, a matter of days apart, a regional reporter Don Williams engaged some Muslims and Christians in Farafenni about the festivities at the end of fasting.
It was a very bright, beautiful, sunny Wednesday morning when residents were out to clean their surroundings as part of Eid prayers. On the streets of Farafenni, Muslims, young, old, male and female, dressed mostly in sparkling new garments, could be seen heading to the praying ground, while some posed for photographs to capture the day and their attire before going for prayers. Mamadou Pate Kamara, a blacksmith and resident in Farafenni, expressed his happiness at coming to the end of Ramadan, although he says it was not easy.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, passé na si jàmm.
We are grateful to Allah for enabling us to complete the fasting of Ramadan in peace. Though it was difficult, but as Muslims, we are expected to do it. All praises belong to Allah, and I am extending my sincere thanks and appreciation to all my fellow Muslims.
And he offered a comparison between last year's observance and this year.
Comparing last year and this year's Ramadan has been extremely hot, but despite that, we have completed it in peace. I am wishing each and every Muslim a blessed Eid-ul-Fitr.
Auntie Fatou Gomez, a Christian resident in Farafeni, expressed her happiness that both religions observe Lent and Ramadan side by side, emphasizing the spirit of harmonious coexistence in the country.
We have already completed our Lent, and we are thanking God for it. And also the Muslim also join us with the Lent. And Ramadan also, the Muslims are celebrating the Ramadan. So we thank the Gambians for it, because this year I can see that the Muslims, they pray together. That is a good sign of the Gambians.
It was very interesting to visit a compound where people of different faiths, Muslim and their Christian neighbors, had come together to celebrate Eid-ul-Fitr, known in the Gambia as Korite. One such person we met was Umar Gay, a Muslim living with his family, who was preparing a meal with Christians in the same compound.
Today, anyone you come across is very happy, as the celebration signifies that we are all one and should always see ourselves as one people. I am very happy because the entire Muslim Ummah is celebrating this year's Eid-ul-Fitr on the same day. May Allah make it to continue to happen in this way.
In various homes, people prepare and cook a variety of meals. Here is Ellen Salih Gomez, a Christian.
And today is a feast for the Muslims. It's a very special day today, and we are all celebrating it together. I'm a Christian, and our feast has passed, so we all celebrate it together, and today is their feast, the Muslim feast, and we all celebrate it together. This is how we do in the Gambia.
It was a very colorful atmosphere as Muslims from all over the community dispersed on leaving the prayer grounds in good spirits, filled with the spirit of peace and unity. Hope it continues. Don Williams, QTV News, Farafeni.
And a report there by Don Williams will lead us to the commercial break, but we will be right back.
Gambia is proud to host the 15th OIC Summit on the 4th and 5th May 2024, the second largest gathering of world leaders, kings, presidents, rulers, prime ministers, along with delegates from 57 member countries of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation will gather in our beloved nation for this historic event. The theme of the summit is enhancing unity and solidarity through dialogue for sustainable development. It's a platform to foster cooperation, promote peace, and drive sustainable development across the Ummah and the world at large. We call on all Gambians to unite and support the government as it strives to host a memorable and successful event. Let's showcase our hospitality, culture, and the beauty of the Gambia to the world. Join us in making history. Let's stand together, united as one, to ensure the 15th OIC Summit in the Gambia is an event to remember. Together, we can make a difference.
The art of juggling is a true spectacle of agility, coordination, and speed. A symbol of progression, precision, and mastery. "5G speed is like having the juggler in your pocket. With lightning-fast download and upload speeds, you'll easily be able to juggle even the busiest workdays. Whether you're a busy entrepreneur, a creative, or just someone who wants to stay connected. Juggle your tasks with ease with QCell 5G speed. The future is here. It's fast, reliable, and efficient. First brought to you by QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Thanks for staying with us. And if you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Caraba Avenue with me, Ansmana Eswenyasi. And now on to news from beyond our borders in a moment. Now, as Muslims around the globe observe Eid-ul-Fitr, marking the end of Ramadan, QTV's Hawa Sise reports from Memphis, Tennessee in the United States of America how some Muslims celebrated but still had thoughts on events elsewhere.
As the crescent moon is sighted and the month of Ramadan comes to an end, Muslims around the world welcome the joyous holiday of Eid-ul-Fitr.
My favorite thing about Eid is seeing everybody. The Eid after Ramadan, you see everyone every single day for prayer and everything, but it's still so special to see everybody after the 30 days, after we've all been praying and worshiping together.
This is my first Eid, and it's been a great experience because I've never seen so many Muslims in one area at one time praying. So this has been just a great experience, and seeing the community come together has been really beautiful.
I would say it's getting ready in the morning, the chaoticness, but it brings the vibes of like everyone's like happy. And then I love the prayer. I don't know, for some reason, ever since I was young, I really like the Eid prayer. Like, I don't know, we do so many different prayers. Taraweeh, we pray 5 times a day. Sunnah, but I love the Eid prayer. It's like one of my favorite prayers. So.
This special holiday not only marks the end of a month of fasting and spiritual reflection called Ramadan, but also brings families and communities together in celebration.
It was a really beautiful Ramadan. I have been at school the last 2 Ramadan, so this was like my first Ramadan back in the community with everyone, and it was so beautiful and fulfilling, I would say, like worshiping with everyone every night, the last 10 nights, like staying at the masjid all through the night doing qiyam, and then still being able to get up and go to work the next day, go to school the next day. It was a really fulfilling Ramadan. I wish I could rewind and do it again. It was really amazing.
For new converts like Erica, her experience was filled with a sense of community.
The support of all the converts. Since I'm a new convert, I just converted in August, it's great to have such a sense of community and have everyone uplifting you and reaching out to you and not having to be alone on such a special holiday, especially when you don't have any family to celebrate or anybody that is close to you. So the fact that I can just come to prayer and then afterwards have such a loving community just bring me in is really beautiful.
Beautiful thing to see the joy and just like how happy everybody is after a long month.
A day of celebration evolved to a call to action. After the Eid prayers, dozens gathered to shed light on the harsh reality faced by the people of Gaza, who are facing a humanitarian crisis. For the past 6 months, they have been living under the constant fear of Israeli airstrikes and shelling. One of the banners stated, "Gaza is starving. Ceasefire now." For THS, I am Hawa Sise.
Now, in February, we interviewed Pelumi Nubi, a 29-year-old UK-based Nigerian travel content creator, when she made a stop in Gambia while on her solo drive from London to Lagos, Nigeria. Now, our reporter, Lena Igwenyiba, as she updates us, Pelumi has finally reached Lagos after a 68-day journey through 17 countries.
Pelumi Nubi's arrival was live-streamed on her YouTube channel and announced by Boyega Akosile, the Lagos governor's spokesperson. Starting her journey with about 12,000 followers, Pelumi gained a supportive online community, growing to 253,000 followers, who were invested in her journey and rooting for her throughout. Her homecoming marked the end of her solo drive and people both online and at the University of Lagos came out in huge numbers to celebrate her achievement. Despite her commitment to showcasing the beauty and safety of the African continent, Pelumi's drive wasn't accomplished without hitches. She documented her numerous challenges on social media, including a 24-hour hold-up at the border in Liberia and initially being denied entry to Sierra Leone. She also survived a car crash shortly after arriving in Liberia, where she was treated at the hospital and had her car, Oluwalumi, a Peugeot 107, fixed. Many of her online supporters commented on her Instagram that Lumi deserves to be displayed at the museum. Pelumi Nubi believes she's the first black woman to attempt this journey. She said her goal was not about breaking records, but about showing the world that impossible is just a word. Pelumi's journey loudly proclaims that the impossible is only what we make of it, a reminder that with determination, great feats are attainable. Reporting for KTV News, I am Lena Igwenyiba.
Incredible. Now, April 14th marks the 10th anniversary of the abduction of 276 girls from their school dormitory in the town of Chibok in northeastern Nigeria by the Islamist militant group Boko Haram. While many have been freed or escaped, about 100 are still missing, and mass kidnappings plague the country a decade on. More in this report.
The girls, mainly Christian and mostly aged between 16 and 18, were herded at gunpoint through the forest to waiting trucks after the militants set fire to the school buildings. Within hours of the abductions, 57 girls managed to escape. Some hid in the bushes, others jumped out as they drove through the dark night of the 128,000-acre Sambisa forest that had become Boko Haram's hideout. The kidnapping made headlines globally. A group of Nigerian women launched the social media campaign Bring Back Our Girls, which became a powerful global protest, attracting the support of the then U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama and the Nobel Peace Laureate Malala Yousafzai. The then president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, was under intense pressure to secure the release of all 276 Chibok girls and received immediate offers of help from the US, Britain, France, and China. However, interest gradually waned as efforts to rescue the girls produced only modest results. With few other options, the Nigerian government turned its focus to negotiating with the militants. Mediators helped broker a deal, and in 2016 and 2017, Boko Haram agreed to hand over a total of 103 of the abductees. Controversial amnesty programs began, allowing Boko Haram members to re-enter society after serving time at rehabilitation camps. In captivity, dozens and dozens of the abductees were converted to Islam and married off to their captors, and many are now with children. Authorities say negotiations for the remaining girls are still going on, but families and activists remain skeptical, and the negotiators say talks have ended. The government has set up reintegration programs for those released, but many complain that they face suspicion and stigma in their community. In a surprising turn of events, some of the recently freed women have decided to remain married to the men who once held them captive, to the outrage of their parents. Since the Chibok incident, more than 1,500 children have been abducted, most recently last month, when gunmen kidnapped at least 287 children from a school in the northwest, where criminal groups commonly called bandits are terrorizing communities. Many schools have been forced to shut down, with more than 20 million children out of school in Nigeria, according to UNESCO, among the highest number in any country in the world. For the remaining Chibok girls, despite the uncertainty over efforts at negotiation, the parents continue to hope. I know my daughter will be back, says one parent. If God is the one ruling heaven, she will be back. For QTV News, I'm Modun Boj.
And that report there by Modun Boj on the kidnappings in Nigeria will bring us to the end of this bulletin. But before we take a leave of you, here's a recap from your headlines. During his update for the 2023 fiscal year, CD Keita, the Minister of Finance revealed that the Gambia's total debt stock has increased from $46.3 billion in 2016 to $110.6 billion in 2023, partly due to inherited large domestic and external debt from the Jammeh-led government. Honorable Maimuna Sise, a Gambian National Assembly member has been unanimously elected Secretary General of the ECOWAS Female Parliamentarians Association. And as both Muslims and Christians completed their respective periods of fasting in Lent and Ramadan, we engaged some Muslims and Christians in Farafenni about the festivities at the end of fasting. And in international news, we also brought you Eid-ul-Fitr observance in Memphis, Tennessee, in the United States of America. That's all we have for you in this bulletin. Join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. for another bulletin. Until then, thanks for watching.